Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with a mini little championship. This would be the Manufacturer's Cup. Each driver would pick a manufacturer to represent. They would then choose cars from their manufacturer to run in C class, B class, A class and S1 class, with points being added on from each race. The manufacturer that scored the most points overall would be the victor. Some manufacturers have better low-end cars, some better high-end cars, some quite a good spread. It was going to be interesting to find out what vehicles people went for from their selected manufacturers. I was going to be representing Dodge in this, because of course I was. And yeah, we'd see what would work and what wouldn't. So, for our first race, we are running the C-Class cars. Now, Dodge doesn't give me many options in terms of C-Class cars. In fact, I think I had two options, maybe three. The Daytona might just be C-Class. Either way, my choices were a Challenger or a Charger, or possibly the Daytona. And I'm not going to have much PI to work with. Not particularly. Now, I could get 1,000 horsepower in a C-Class car. We have done with the Challenger, in fact. But that's barely drivable. So instead, what I've gone with is tyre widths. Now, my vehicle is on standard tyres. They are not particularly they're not particularly good compound tyre, of course, but we've got 3, 4, 5s at the back. Now, that is quite a lot of grip. It's still rear-wheel drive. It's going to be, of course. We don't have the PI to do anything else. I think all-wheel drive puts up to like mid-B class or something just on its own. So, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. Now, we know we're not going to be able to carry much corner speed here. If I'm honest, I think Dodge might struggle in the lower classes here. I think it's going to come stronger in the latter stages when I do have more room for upgrades. When I picked Dodge without quite realising the... I say without realising the choices, I thought there were more Dodges in the game, if I'm honest. Or more Dodges with lower starting PIs than there actually were. So yeah, C-Class does not give me a huge amount of room to play around with. The Lamborghini is probably quite a good choice. I think I've had a quite quick C-Class one before. I think that's probably going to be in a similar state to me in terms of tyres and whatnot. This circuit is not the best in the world for my car, if I'm going to be honest. We would ideally want a much bigger, much faster circuit for the Charger to shine. We're going to enjoy the start-finish straight here, naturally, but that is about it. Up at the front we have the Volkswagen. The double cab is leading the way. They can be fairly solid, being chased down by the Anglia. Then we have the FairLady Z. If I could hold on to 5th, I wouldn't actually be too disappointed with all of that, but I've got to hold off against the 2002 Turbo. And much more PI to work with in that car. It's much lighter. Okay, it's not going to have the levels of power that we have got in the Charger, and we are going to have to now defend from the Beamer, although I don't think it's going to matter necessarily. I think it might have more than enough speed to just get past around the outside, and as we fight, here comes the MX-5 to join in the fun. We're going to have to really work for this one. There's a fight now going on for second place between the Anglia and the FairLady. We have fended off. Now, if the BMW can get busy fighting the Mazda, I'd be cool with that. We can make a gap now, and we aren't going to be troubled in all of this. They're almost going 3 wide for second place as Scotty does move up with the Nissan. Yeah, I think we might have the measure of the rest of the field in this, but the Mazda and BMW I think are quicker. It's going to be whether I can drive well enough, whether I can carry enough corner speed to defend from those cars, and the MX-5 is looking quick. It breezed past the 2002 Turbo without too many issues. I just cannot turn through there. And there it goes. It'll come soaring past. Now, I don't know what tyres it's on. It's probably on standard tyres. It doesn't matter. It's just so much lighter. However, we can give it some grief now, because what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to end up slowing all of the cars behind us down. Oh, the Volkswagen, I think, hit the wall out the final corner. Yeah, we are now starting to actually back everybody up. This could help me, it could hinder me. Basically, we're backing everybody up. They're going to start fighting one another. Great if they fight one another and I can get far enough away. Terrible if they stop fighting one another and then the whole train of cars comes flying past. That would be a disaster for us in the first round. Now, as I said, I think the Dodgers are going to get quicker as we go on. We just got to kind of suffer almost the pain of this first stage. We've only got one more lap to go. If we can keep the Charger in 5th, I'd be really, really happy with that.
I'd be really happy with that as a result. Come on, Dodge, just get that front end turned in. Here comes the MX-5 again to have a look. It knows it's just got to be close enough. I mean, that's got so much more grip than me. It's going to dive past, but again, we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did last lap. We're going to outrun it up towards the final corner here. It knows it can't get past there because I'm going to defend. Then we're going to run right down the straight. I'm a little concerned, though, of course, as it does this, it gets closer every lap. So the point at which it overtakes me changes every lap as it's getting closer, as it is technically gaining lap time on me. We're kind of catching... I mean, it's actually been... There's not a vast difference in our cars in many ways. We've seen a lot more spread out races in the past. Around this circuit, certainly. We've kind of got this big line of vehicles going around the place. Come on. Oh, something happened to the Mazda. The Mazda's fallen away. I don't know what happened. It may have made a mistake into turn one. It may have hit the curb on the inside of turn one. It's possible, or tangled with the Tirana. I wasn't actually looking behind. I had a lot of my own, problems to deal with the big, heavy Dodge. But the Mazda has fallen back, although everything is there behind me. Run away. Here comes the Tirana, maybe one of the few cars that will match me for straight line speed. The Tirana and the Lamborghini are definitely the cars that could give me the most trouble. The Holden was not going to make that stick. It gave it a go, and fair enough, I'd do exactly the same. It does not have the grip to make that work. I think we might end up fourth. Did someone hit something? What happened? No, we were fifth. It was showing Ewan's car as third. I don't know what went... Oh, what? Stinty was very clearly behind me. No, that's not standing game, I'm afraid. We were ahead. Somebody... Oh, the Anglia must have hit the wall on the final lap or missed a checkpoint on the final lap of that one. Yeah, we ignore that result as we were very clearly ahead of the Tirana as we came across the line. We were fourth in the end with the Charger. Solid first round. If I'm honest, I expected a lot worse from that one. Can't complain. So, we move up to B-Class next, and I have a Dodge Dart. Now, I do have some fairly impressive sized rear tyres again. Ooh, pole position is nice. However, again, don't have crazy amount of PI to play with. My car is likely to be quick. I mean, the Dart is generally quite good. I am a smidge concerned about handling. At the end of the day, I have no better tyres than we're running on the Charger, while we're lighter, better chassis, etc. It's still going to struggle a little bit around these corners, if I'm honest. Especially against the likes of an Elise. It'll murder them all on a straight, but this is not the track, perhaps. Oh, and we got held on the line. But this is not the track, really, for the Dart. We're going to let it go. It pulls. Of course it does. But here goes the handling. Woes. My hope is that we can again do a similar thing to what we did with the Charger. It's going to be a case of just score some solid points here. Use the straight line speed where we can. Try and keep control of it. I mean, it's not the most ridiculous handling car. It's just a little bit pants. It's not completely undrivable, but it is a little bit pants. Here comes that straight line speed though from the Dodge. Dear God, I think it was about 550 horsepower I think I have going on in this, which is, it's quite a lot for B. I mean, the most ridiculous thing in B-Class, Stinty's going to be getting impatient with the Holden behind, looking for a way past. Isn't going to make anything happen there. This is not the easiest track to overtake on, if I am smart about it. If I'm smart about it, I can make life quite difficult for the cars behind, as we get another punt from the Fiesta. This is not me brake checking, this is just genuinely where I have to brake with a car like this one. We are now... Oh, God, racing up towards turn one. You see, well, we can't really defend very easily through turn one. It doesn't matter so much because, well, most cars are probably going to be so far back from my sheer straight line speed that it's not going to matter. They are going to start lining up, though, to look for a way past here. It's just the great Dodge train that is going on. We're going to let the Fiesta to the inside there. It doesn't matter because on the exit, we just fire the V8 Fury of the Dart down towards the next corner. The Volkswagen... It looks like it's in a different class to the Dart. That can be the problem for the Fiesta now. I mean, now we're just going to make a roadblock for somebody else to sit behind. The Cadillac is up in third. The limo is really good. We said this before. the limo is really, really good. It's strange, it doesn't always make sense, but it genuinely is a pretty damn good car. As we go around the final corner, the notchback gets to the inside, and then we run away. Goodbye. Oh dear, I mean, there's only so long this trick is going to hold on here, and I don't know if I'm going to come under increasing fire soon from the RX-7. We'll fight Mazdas again, Agliska. We'll come under fire from that Fiesta. We know that Fiesta is a very, very good car. More so in A-Class, but I'm sure it's pretty competent in B. I mean, it's only better than me, really, around this track. We will just make really, really wide Dodge Dart. It's not doing too bad. We're only 5 seconds down on Impega's Miura. Now, I would imagine, to be fair, quite a few of these cars are probably not running on particularly advanced tyres, but they are just better than I am, really. And now if there's a fight going on behind me between the Fiesta and the Mazda, that would save me a lot of trouble here. That would save me an awful lot of trouble in this one. Come on, there we go. That's all good. How far away are we from the Mazda? We're keeping that gap, but the Fiesta's fallen back, which is good news. If anything, the Cadillac's catching up to the Lotus. Yeah, the limo is looking to try and find a way past the Elise. That is not a sentence I've ever thought I would say and be genuinely true about cars, certainly even in the same class. It's quite ridiculous. We've got 2 more laps to go, and I know I'm going to be having Mazda company soon. We're getting ready to be defensive in this if I have to be, although it's not actually anywhere near as close as I thought it was going to be through that opening section. That's fine. We've fallen back. We have fallen back a little bit from the cars ahead. Again, it's another... If we can keep this up, it would be another very, very solid points finish, at least, for us. Stinty may have missed a checkpoint. I've seen the Holden's down at the bottom of the field here. Through the next corner we go. We bobble the car around a little bit sideways. Nothing too terrible, though. We're still... Yeah, there's the big fight going on behind us is really, really helping us. Them two there squabbling over that 6th place has really given me a lifeline. We are about a second a lap slower, I think, than the cars ahead. Or probably certainly than the leader. The cars ahead we might be a little closer to. We are down on lap speed. Yeah, this is always going to be a little bit of pain for the Dart. But it has done me proud. It has done me proud, this car. As we run up the hill, we are very, very different to a lot of the other cars running in this. And it's put on a good show. A different track, and it could work wonders. However... But this one, yeah, always going to be a little bit more in the way of pain. We actually find ourselves in a really, really lonely position in all of this. Down sections, I mean, we've probably got the fastest sector in a couple of sections of the lap where I can use my straight line speed. We probably are, we're probably the quickest car in a straight line. If we had a drag race or something around here, maybe we would be, but it's just these corners that murder my chances. Around the final turn we head. I mean, I say the corners kill the chances. You know, we're doing circuit racing here. It's an important part of everything. Just like the Fiesta's going to get the 6th place behind me. Whew. Okay, Miura takes victory. We were not, in fact, we're not that different in lap time to the, at least the fastest lap of the race, though. That would go to the Cadillac limo. That's ridiculous. The limo is crazy. It really shouldn't be as good as it is. However, it is. It gets 2nd place with the fastest lap of the race. We are going to sit in a slightly more sedate 5th place. However, these are the weaker classes for me, and we still scored some good points. So, we move next up to A-Class, where I have got the Daytona. Still going to be down on tyres to some of the vehicles, although I'm probably not the only one running some vintage race tyres in this one. I'm fairly sure no, I'm not sure. Someone else might be. Hyper might be with the Aston Martin, actually. There's going to be some grippy cars in this one. I'm not. But I have 550 odd horsepower. I mean, Daytona's a slippery car in general. Bamborough Coast Circuit might work for it. We're starting from pole, so... If anything's going to work with this car, this is a pretty good combination for me here. If we can run away and make it super difficult to overtake, then that would be wonderful. That is kind of what I am hoping for in order. I mean, vintage race tyres, it feels like I've got so much grip because of what I've been driving the last 2 races. Bloody hell. We have, of course, got massive
vintage race tyres, let's not forget here. We have got 3 4.5s at the back and 2 8.5s at the front, something like that. So yeah, I mean, we've got impressive sized tyres. We have a mighty wing of sorts on the back of the car, because of course we do. We've got the Daytona, the Golf. Now we know that Golf is actually a pretty good car in general. We've seen them run pretty well in the past. And the Daytona is a long boat of a vehicle, and it can be a difficult one to find a way past. Now I lack the traction of the all-wheel drive, so we weren't allowed to swap drive lines in the cars. We were allowed to swap engines as long as they were within brand, so to speak, but we're not allowed to swap drive. Speed of this thing. My gearbox runs out. I did put a custom gearbox in it, but apparently I didn't tune the gears to not buzz the limiter by the end of the straight. Right, let us go and turn through here. So I'm going to have to be careful of the Golf. Now we're going to defend from the Volkswagen. See if I can hold it back here. I might actually be very difficult to beat. I'm just going to be annoying in this one. This is the advantage I have with the Daytona. I can just annoy the whole pack. Nothing can beat me down the straights, I don't think, at the moment. So we play a silly game. We play a silly game of make the Dodge train go on and let them fight. If they squabble amongst themselves, they really will struggle to catch me. Now, I do know the Z4, we've seen them be pretty bloody fast of late. So we might see the BMW look for a way past that Golf. We are starting to pull away, actually, a little bit. If we can keep this up, that would be good news for me. As I said, although I've made a horrible mess of turn 1, and Pegga's got the Lamborghini now up into second place. That could be a concern, although it was at Countach. They generally really understeery boats, those things. They can be a real pain in the arse to get through the corners at times, but he's likely to be quick down the straights. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, if it beats me down the straights, I could be in trouble here, because that is the one thing I have going for me. But, I mean, it might struggle with its fight with some of the other cars. Doesn't look like it. I think I'm going to really struggle to beat... If Pegga's Countach is this quick, I think I'm going to struggle to beat Lamborghini in the overall standings at this point. I don't know what the points are at the moment, but I do think it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with them. Let's see who has the better top end here. We're definitely quicker than everyone else. We're definitely pulling away from everybody else in the field. We might even have more speed than the Lambo. I need to remember to stop trying to change up gear. We don't have a huge amount more top speed than the Lambo, but we are a little bit quicker than it. And we can probably make life very difficult for it if it wants to try and find a way past. And I bet it's not going to handle amazingly either. So it's probably not going to be able to just dive bomb like the Golf did on us on that first lap. Oh, carefully does it through all of this. So yeah, the Lambo is a little better in the corners. It's probably on sport tyres. Maybe. It might go for streets on that car. If it's on race tyres, I don't even know if it could get race tyres in A-Class, the Countach. The PI might be. Certainly if it was, it would have no top end at all, and it wouldn't be of any threat almost around here. I mean, we have actually gapped the whole rest of the field. So the Countach is catching, but not by a drastic amount. Ewan is holding on to third with that Volkswagen. I think using the grip and the traction from that car is doing well. I'm still automatically trying to shift into a 6th gear through turn 1. Lovely. I didn't want to hit the curb too hard. Sometimes you can bounce off that curb, so we just gave it that little bird. Again, like through there, I don't want to hit that inside curb and cause myself trouble. Countach is behind. It's not quite close enough to really look at anything, so we're going to just play it a little defensive, a little careful. I mean, it's gaining... it's getting ground. It's right there, but it's just not quite close enough to do anything, I don't think. It may have even had a little mistake through that section. Just don't balls up the braking zone now. We're under immense pressure. We're under immense pressure. We're under a lot of pressure. It's not quite the whole, you've got to defend every corner, but it's a one slip up, and the Lamborghini will just fire past. Here we go. We're out of the final corner onto the straight, where the Daytona's strengths truly lie. This has been the battle for third and back has been crazy. They're still in one big group. Me and Pegga ran away from everything in this one. We will take a victory. The first victory for Dodge in this tournament. Fantastic stuff for the Daytona. The Countach was, as I said, a little faster. Very similar lap times, though. We're only within a couple of tenths, and then we were about a second quicker than everyone else. The RX-7 got third. Oh, things went wrong for Ewan at the end. Got dumped down. I guess probably got out-dragged by everybody down towards the start-finish line.
The Focus would get 4th place ahead of the BMW. Silvia, the Volkswagen ended up down in 7th ahead of the Monaro. I'll take the victory. The Daytona came good. That was a very, very fun race as well. So, we are on to the final round of the Manufacturers' Cup. S1 class has me in the 99 Viper. Now, this should be a pretty good car. If I'm honest, it should theoretically work very well indeed. We've got a lot of very quick cars in this. We have one all-wheel drive car in the form of the GTR, I would imagine. Ewan is going to have a tough time with Volkswagen, and the downside, of course, of the Volkswagen is you're stuck with the front-wheel drive. So the Volkswagens have been quick so far, but yeah, the front-wheel drive in S1. Actually, I don't even know why you go front-wheel drive with that all-wheel drive Volkswagen. Now, you weren't allowed to reuse cars, but surely there were some Golfs you could have gone with. Who knows? But there we have it. Yeah, the Viper is likely to be pretty grippy. That is my hope here. No, we don't have the all-wheel drive traction, the likes of the Murcielago, or I forgot about the Murcielago, of course, being all-wheel drive. But yeah, we don't have the grip, or we don't have the traction of the Murcielago. We might not quite have the grip of the Lotus, although I bet we're faster than the Lotus down the straights. Jesus, the Porsche will go. The Porsche will like these straights, but it's going to be a horrible handful through the corners. It gets squeezed in a horrible place as well. The 917 is really difficult to build in S1 class, normally anyway, to get that thing working. Certainly I have struggled to make that car work in the past. Also, S1 class is notoriously fast, and you don't always get the most exciting races. We'll have to see how this one goes. The Transit is doing really, really well. I wondered if it might struggle in this field, but it is currently doing pretty well as it goes to have a look at getting past the Cadillac. So what have we got at the moment? The GTR leads the way, and I think I'm going to have a very tough time catching it. I think that's checked out at the front of the race. I'm hoping we could at least pick off the Cadillac. I mean, maybe if we could get past Stinty's Holden as well, or his HSV thing, that would be good. Maybe not hitting the wall there would help, although Impega's gone and done a very similar thing. Here comes Liam with the BMW. That's not really going to help matters for me. This is the noisiest car in the bloody game, the M4. We are to the outside of the Murcielago, but I'm not going to be able to make that one work, I don't think. Could we fire up the inside? No. So the big saloon cars are having their own little battle, which looks cool. I want to get past both of them, really. As I said, I don't think anyone can match Lamborghini overall in this Cup so far. I think they've been too strong in all the classes. I've definitely got stronger as we've gone on. I think we're not in a worse shape in this tournament, especially if we could get 4th, maybe even sneak a 3rd if something goes wrong with him for Impega when trying to get past these cars. Stinty goes very, very defensive through all of this. The Cadillac's out very wide. I'm just going to try and follow the Lambo through here. I think that's going to be the best bet for me. We'll put a wheel on the dirt ever so slightly. Now, if Liam gets stuck, Liam has dropped back a little bit. Don't know whether that's from mistakes or whether just outright pace of the Beamer is not quite there. Stinty's going to look to the outside, but you're not going to find a pass. Oh, I went down one too many ago. You might find a pass if I balls that up quite that much through there. We actually slid the car a little bit more up towards Stinty's Holden than I meant to. My bad. No, I just lost the back end just a smidge. I'm not the best driving S1 class cars. There is no doubt about it. We might get the Cadillac on the exit here. We get a really, really good run. Do I have the top end on that CTSV, ATSV? I can't remember which one it is. We are through. I think it's ATSV, isn't it? We are through on the big caddy, and that'll move me up into a 4th place. Can I chase down the Murcielago with just a lap to go here? The Transit is in a pretty solid 2nd place. I can't chase down the Lambo if I do that. The Transit is a very solid 2nd place. But I don't think the Transit might even be catching the leader a smidge. The Ford is very quick. Ford is... I knew it was good. I didn't realise it was quite that crazy good in S1 class. Right, that mistake has really, really cost me, because I might not have another chance of getting past the Cadillac around this lap. We'll have to wait and see. I also love that the skill chain's almost kept up the entire race, just because I fell out of the draft of the caddy there, is why it's ended. Okay, we've got one lap to find a way past the big barge. And I mean, this could... I don't know the point situation at the moment. There will be a table at the end, but I don't know where I stand at the moment. I just know I need every single position I can get here if we are going to do as well as possible for Dodge.
Could we have a fire up the inside here? There's a little gap. There's a little opening for the Viper. We can get alongside. Now, you're going to get pinched down to the inside a smidge there. Who has better top speed? Me or the caddy? Oh, no. It's pulling on us. We've got to go the long way round. I think I have better top end, but it has slightly better initial acceleration than me. We are going to make this one work around the outside. We get a little bit of oversteer. The Cadillac did give us plenty of space through there, or gave us a Viper's width, and we used the Viper's width of space. We are around the final corner. Bloody hell. That was a fantastic race, and the Viper is going to take a 4th position in that one. Ooh. Good race indeed. Good race indeed. The GTR takes victory from the Supervan that was catching, although it made a mistake on the final lap and actually dropped back in the end. GTR wins from the Supervan, then the Murcielago. My Viper in 4th ahead of the caddy Holden. The MX-5 up in 7th, running a quad rotor, because the only way you can get that any of the Mazdas to S1 class ahead of the M4. The GT1, I would imagine, lack of top speed would kill that around here. Oh, I can breathe now. I like the Viper. Nice car to drive. Well, we shall have to see where this leaves us with the points. So, on to the points table, and it would be the Lamborghinis that would take victory, and Peg would win by 10 points. Over Scotty, take the Nissans into a 2nd place. Only just the Dodges did really well. I was really proud of my Dodges. We ended up in 3rd, just a couple of points back from the Nissans. Midway, we get the Fords into a 4th position ahead of the Cadillac. Cadillac did well, considering not very many cars to choose from in all of that. The Cadillacs would tie with the BMW, but on virtue of the limo getting a 2nd place. That was the higher finish. The BMW's highest place was 3rd in all of that. Mazda would only be a point further back ahead of Volkswagen. It started strong, went a little bit awry further up in the sort of PI scales. The Holden didn't fare as well as perhaps might have been expected. Ahead of Lotus, Aston Martin and Porsche down at the bottom. This had been a rather... It's been a really good tournament, actually. A really interesting tournament in this one. The Lamborghinis had been mighty fast in just about every single class. I think the lowest place the Lamborghini ended up was 3rd, which is always going to be very, very difficult to do better than. As I said, while filming it, the Dodge, the lower end of the spectrum was quite difficult for the cars. I couldn't really make something to be a particular handling vehicle because I didn't have the PI to work with, or I didn't have the base cars. But it was quite fun, and as soon as we started getting into the higher PIs, they were very, very quick indeed. We had some really good races. We had some really, really good races in this one. I actually think I battled with a Nissan for it, despite the fact we were only a couple of points apart in the tail. I actually raced a Nissan because races I did well in the Nissan, not so much, and vice versa and whatnot. But yeah, it was a really cool little tournament, a really fun little championship, if you will. I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. That, though, is going to be it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.